Hello and welcome to the Denta Show Live. My name is Denta Amarting and I'm here for another great conversation. It is Sunday evening and I'm bringing you nothing but good conversation, something that will benefit our community as always. But before I start, I want to say a big thank you to World Remit. It is the better way to send money. You can join up to 5.7 million people who are sending money back home to Ghana. Don't get a fake PCR test. Hell no, don't do that. Make sure you do it correctly. Make sure that you go to the right place. Now, if you are in the UK and you are traveling to Ghana, then make sure that you do it at Angular DNA. They are certified. They are on the government list. They are also ones that if you are traveling from Ghana to the UK, you can use them as well for your travel COVID travel test kit. So that's their details right there. Make sure that you go on their website and, do the right thing. There's a lot of things going on that people are doing fake PCR tests and it's not on. Listen, guys, you're putting yourself in danger and you're putting somebody else in danger as well. So let's do the right thing and get the correct COVID testing done. Now, if you haven't seen me, I'm sure you've seen me in my Ghana made top. Yes, I'm always ripping Ghana, and you can get this nice top from Designer T, Darren, who's based in the UK, but he's got some of the garments in Ghana as well. So if you do want to order, go to Designer T on Instagram and get one. Look, you can get different countries, every country that you can think about, you can get a design. Darren can do it for you. And he does other designs as well. So guys, you can go on there and get something done for yourself. I'm also still promoting this tomato processing and marketing training. Guys, there is so much money to be made in agriculture, and this is just one segment of it. I don't know if you listened to my show last week, but there's a lot of money to be made when it comes to tomato. We import over $99 million of tomatoes from Burkina Faso. Come on, we can do it right here in Ghana. So it's a great investment opportunity for you to get into. Again, if you're looking for nice cards, Aya cards, guys, you can go on Etsy. I'll put the details in the comments chat. Nice birthday cards, Christmas cards, Mother's Day card. Mother's Day is coming up here in Ghana. You can order a really, really, really nice card. Again, if you haven't been to my daughter's store, Aria Shea Butter, you can get your hair products, your shea butter, your black soap, and your Sapo to exfoliate. Now, I want to see where you guys are watching me from today. Hi, guys. Hello. It's good to see you all. I hope that you are keeping safe and sound. It's still COVID season. Yes, we're still in COVID times. And so I hope that you guys are masking up, social distancing as much as possible, and washing those hands. Gosh, I think, being a nurse before working in the hospital, we used to wash our hands a lot. But now I think that I'm proper addicted to washing hands, where my hands go dry. I need to have cream in the bag because the hand washing is a lot. Nearly every shop that you enter in Ghana has, a water basin and soap and stuff that you have to put on your hands. And also sometimes the hand sanitizer is not that gentle, so you do need to put on your cream as much as possible. So make sure that you do wash your hands as much as possible. Now, I've just had a great interview with Mama Lou. For those that may know her as Mama Lou, but she's originally born as Sherry Thompson. And we've had a great conversation on my show a few weeks ago, which got launched last night. And everybody's talking about it. So I thought, you know what, instead of you guys DMing me, asking me questions, okay, I will get Mama Lou right on the hot seat for you guys to ask any questions. I know she touched on a lot of pointers that we all have a lot of passion for. And even yesterday, I was saying to my son, let's go to the park. But I was like, what park? Where is there a park that I could actually take you on where there's like lots of swings and all of that. And there's not much activities when it comes to children activities. So look, that's where I say, you know what, these are opportunities. When you come to Ghana, these are opportunities that you can find yourself doing. And then, we talked about the Galamsey issue, where, we're putting the whole country at risk, our lives, our children's children. And so that's another topic that we'll be touching on today. And just generally, her being here for 25 years and her, not speaking that much Ga, even though she was married to a Ga. She's not speaking that much Ga. I had a little banter with her on the show as well. But she's an incredible person. She's very passionate about Made in Ghana as well. She's somebody that, anytime I'm an event where she's at the event, she speaks up. You will get Sherry getting up to ask a question, okay? She ain't about to sit down and let everybody just talk and and walk off the stage. What you said, can you explain it? Well, why is this not a? She will just go in on them. But it's good questions. It's questions that sometimes we don't feel comfortable in talking up and speaking up, but she does. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Eben. Hello, Asamoah. Hello, Angie. Nelson Boateng. Yay, Nelson. Nelson is a great person. He uses plastics to make bricks. He's made a home. I'm actually going to be interviewing him soon, guys. He's built a house using plastics. Yes, he's built a house using plastics. Hey, my number one fam, Kwame Abwaje. Kwame, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Last week, you weren't able to join me, but I'm so glad that you are here today. And to everybody else that's watching, my fabulous fans, Asante Kotoko, we lost yesterday, but it doesn't matter. We still move, okay? We have to keep going. Now, without further ado, let me welcome on stage Mama Lou. Mama Lou!
Hey, how are you? How is everybody?
I'm good. Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. How are you?
I'm good. Just moved into a new place, so I gotta tell you that it was a drama.
Wow.
Always moving place to place is an ordeal in Accra. We got to do something about that.
It is. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
That's not friendly. But moving house in Ghana is not a free environment. Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta address all those situations.
Absolutely.
Food, clothing, and shelters, the basic things.
Yes.
To be better than what we're doing.
Yes. Mama Lou, 25 years in Ghana. How has the journey been so far?
Yes. I came here looking at different things that could be done because we're on the continent of Africa. One of the things I came here to accomplish was using solar energy. The sun shines here all the time. And I looked into it at the time that I was here. It wasn't anything that anybody wanted to talk about. So I started looking at other sources of energy and other things that we could do to be sustainable among ourselves. Sometimes you got to just put things in for yourself, not depend on the national this or the national that, because things move slowly. So sometimes you've got to take the bull by the horn and put things in. So I looked at solar, and then I heard about a project that was an energy project where they were building biogas digesters and providing energy. And I said, wow, let me go and see this thing. Sure enough, it was energy, but it was also sanitation. And I was like, so you're using the poop to do what? this is an idea. So there really isn't any waste in the universe. Even our poop is really good, you know? And
Yeah.
so I looked at that and I said, let me take a look at biogas as a sustainable way of putting in energy, sanitation, and sorting problems out that we have on the continent. Yeah. So I didn't come here as Mama Lou. I came here as Sunshine. But now that I'm Mama Lou, I'm okay with being that. Yeah. I came here with trying to do something with the sun. That came about later with sunshade energy, and it is like I said, the negawatt uh, competition winner for Ghana 2015 solar appliance, and so I finally got to the solar. It just took a little circuitous route to get to take a look at solar. But biogas, I love that concept. Biogas cooks better than LPG. Yes, your poop gas is doing good, and
Wow.
the fact that you can use the slurry, or what we call the digested waste, as a fertilizer, it's a plus. It's a plus.
Awesome. And so, are we in Ghana? Are we embracing the biogas? Are we embracing this new innovation?
Um, you embraced it more, I think, when it first came out. Um, right now, pretty much every building that goes in, if you have a soak away, where are you soaking all of that waste away to? It's going into the water table. It would be better if it were put in a digester, and all that waste would be made into commodities that you can use for your life. Uh, I always wanted to know where are they taking away that stuff to? It's poop. What are they? It's soaking away to where? Where is that going?
Yeah.
Why aren't we understanding that things just don't go away? They become problems someplace else.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a video of some of these water treatment plants since the silting of these rivers have happened. It's ridiculous. The plants can't do what they need to do to treat the water. It's bad. It's a bad situation. So
Wow.
those are the things that are happening, and I'm hoping that we can move forward with policies that we can implement to stop the degradation of the environment and to come up with some real solutions, some actionable solutions.
Absolutely. And what about global warming? Do you think Ghana we're taking global warming seriously?
Are we taking
Global warming.
say that again? You're gonna have to repeat.
Global
Global.
warming.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Africa might take global warming seriously because we know about what happens at Hamatan, which we didn't have this year. What happened to that? Hamatan didn't happen. So something in the environment is changing because our weather pattern is completely different. So we have to take global warming seriously because we have a lot of land that has trees. We're the other lung. You know, South America is a lung, and we're the other lung. And we have to take care of our trees, our biodiversity, our green space, the whole thing. We've got to take care of that so that the world can breathe. Uh, just last year, Brazil was having forest fires that were unbelievable. You know, a third of the
Yeah.
Amazon is on fire. We lost animals. We lost flora, fauna. We lost medicinal herbs. We lost as a planet. We lost. Okay,
Wow.
and I just didn't understand what that was about really. But I said, so you're gonna burn down forests to have agriculture? We can't do that. There's got to be other solutions that we deploy in order to have food source. What we can look at instead of putting the food in the soil is look at horticultural, uh, aquaculture, some of those other greenhouse uh, methods for planting that don't need soil, because we're actually as it is right now with activities. I talked about that the last time, and since then, I was at the National Dialogue for Small Scale Mining, and quite a bit of that dialogue had to do with doing mining in a proper way, not
Mm.
having our environment completely degrade because we want to find gold, manganese, bauxite, whatever we're digging for. We can't dig up the earth and leave it just like that for future generations. We've got to be responsible to put things back the way they were, if not the way they were, even better. Figure out how to make the thing better. What do we need to do with the land that we dig through to put that back so that that can be a part of an ecosystem again? Yes.
Do you think that in any way the like COVID-19 has helped the environment in any way? The fact that, planes were grounded, the earth was getting a chance to
Wasn't that
breathe.
nice? That was very lovely, actually. Uh, the birds came out and said, "Woo, there's no traffic up here. We can fly free." Oh, honey, those birds were having a good time. You saw them. I mean, they were flying next to my window. They were like saying hi to me. I'm like, "Ooh, what's going on here? Y'all want to have a family reunion on my porch here? What's happening?" Oh, they were so excited. They started visiting people. Wild, wild. It was wonderful, wonderful. We want that again. For, for, for me, y'all could have lockdown for a month every year. Let the nature heal itself.
Yeah.
Let the birds come out and have a party. They get tired of being sucked into airplane engines. They're not happy about that. So yeah, 1 month out of every year, lockdown for the whole world. Let the world heal. I like COVID for that reason. The
For that
lockdown.
reason,
I
the
love lockdown.
lockdown. Yes, I think it's helped. I think it's helped the environment a lot. Now let's talk about plastics. You actually WhatsApp me some plastics designs of people using plastics for greenhouses, um, and it's incredible. People using it for Christmas decorations, etc. Talk us through some of these
Yeah.
images that are going up on the screen.
So here's what we can teach our young people that they can do with waste plastic. We don't have to out and act like, we're just not considering the end life of or the end cycle of the plastic that we use. We can actually repurpose the plastic, recycle, upcycle. I remember one of my first companies that I loved was Trashy Bags. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
and here I am. So how many bags later? Here's a little made out of sachet. Where I love this thing. This thing has lasted me
yeah,
so long. I'm not
yeah.
going anywhere. This is my trashy bag right here. Okay, and people bought that. Now Ghanaians didn't understand that concept. They're like, huh? But I bought several things and sent several things forward. Folks, folks in the other parts of the world like to see innovation like that. We're not excited about that, and I'm not sure why. But we have young people that are amazing, that are doing amazing things with waste plastic. Shout out to my friend Nelson Watting of Nell Plas,
Yes.
making bricks and pavement blocks out of plastic. I love that man. I love his company. We need about three more of those people. Hallelujah. Get the
Yeah.
money. Give him money. Okay? We need three more factories making this kind of innovation. If you put pavement blocks made of plastic at your foundation, the water can't suck through it because it's made of plastic. So you don't have that, that stuff growing at the bottom of your house. He's like, why? Why is that happening? House turning colors, at the bottom. You don't have that water seepage if you put that plastic at the bottom of your foundation in the form of a block, in the form of a building block. Okay, my young friend McCaffrey doing Macintosh using water sachets to make sandals. I'm like, seriously? And he gave me a pair, and I'm walking around like, yeah, we could do this. And this is made in Ghana. Can you imagine? We killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
I don't like killing birds. We're talking environment here. We're not killing any birds. No birds. No birds. Okay? Yeah. Oh, I got my girlfriend Vendiba. She all the water sachets, turning it into baskets and weaving. She's now using a method to actually weave thread out of plastic. There you go.
Wow.
Girlfriend got it going on. So we've got innovation here. We've got people thinking about doing decorations with plastics. We don't never have to buy decorations for Christmas again. We can make our own. That's what we need to be. We need to be self-sufficient, self-sustainable. Those are the things we need to be dealing with. We've got a ton of stuff that we need to do as far as waste, recycling waste. We can recycle spaces in the middle of Accra that have been abandoned for years. Why still abandoned? Why don't we turn those abandoned buildings into something? What's this about? Okay, so we've got work to do. We've got to think past, the box. I always tell people, don't think out of the box. Just burn the box, because Ghana folks here, when they say think out of the box, they go around the edge of the outside. I'm like, nah, that's not good enough, people. You got to burn that box.
Absolutely. But in terms of growth, in terms of development, over the last 25 years, moving from the US to Ghana, what type of developments and scale of development have you seen in Ghana?
I see buildings going up. I see some green buildings going up. I think that's an excellent idea. One of my favorite buildings is at the airport area, Airport City. It looks like a basket, but it's not. It's a green building, and it's one airport square, and lovely building that incorporates quite a number of environmentally friendly and eco-sustainable features. We need to build like that, and I think we do consider those things now. Maybe they didn't before, but we do consider them now. But there's still shortcuts being taken. We need to revamp that building code. The building code is too old. Need to pull that out and update that. We need to get those people that are supposed to be taking a look at building code and taking a look at what's going up, structures that are going up. They need to be doing their jobs. Too many buildings are falling down. All of a sudden, building, you hear that this collapsed. Luckily, not a whole lot of people are dying. But I remember one of the buildings that collapsed was a Malcolm building, and it was not pretty. People saw the in. The next thing you know, folks were under a building. So these are things that need to happen. We have policies in this country. In fact, I was told that other countries like our policies, use our policies, implement the policies, and it works for them. It can work for us. We could actually use our own ideas, our own policies, and implement them so that we're making a better life here. We're developing in a sustainable way. one of
Also,
the things I don't like, and I've seen this now on social media. Everybody sent this to me at the same time. All these buildings at an area in Pram Pram, 1,500 housing units, and they're just standing there. That folks have sent that to me so many times today and yesterday. I'm like, guys, okay, I've seen it. But why do we have 1,500 housing units abandoned or just standing there not being used? What's that about? So
yeah.
that's wasted space. If you want to talk about waste, that's waste.
Mm.
Okay? And that's a waste we can ill afford, because as we waste that space, somebody will go into the hinterland and use and cut and clear cut forests and trees and bush and biodiversity just to build a house, when we have houses here in the city that are being not being used, that are they're empty. They've been empty for 10 years. Why you build something and it's empty for 10 years? There should be a tax on that. It's like yeah,
But
should be
Mama
a
Lou,
tax on buildings that are not being utilized. Tax them. Okay. Now, when they are utilized, the tax base goes down for that. The property tax goes down for that building. But when the building is empty, tax that building because it's wasted space. And if we
mm,
do like a sin tax for wasted space, I believe we would reclaim that space so that people wouldn't be rolling around trying to figure out where to live, where to do their job, where to do anything. So I developed a company called Space to Share. I have an app.
okay.
It's a company of young people. They put that together, and I told them work on that. They've been working on it for 2 years, and I didn't want to door it now because it's not ready. But we utilize space that has been wasted. So it's to share. You're not going to rent it. You're going to share it with somebody so that that space can come back into full utilization. We don't want wasted space. We want space to share.
Yeah, beautiful. But Mama Lou, what I found is that a lot of buildings are going up, but we are not taking into consideration parks, recreation centers. We're just getting a whole heap of buildings that are coming up, but no parks, to take your child to. There's nothing really that we're
Yeah.
incorporating when it comes to buildings in Ghana. I don't see that.
One of the buildings I do like is Octagon. I'm going to name it. They have a courtyard in the inner court area there that is fabulous. And of course, I think they built that for the clients of the building, but that's a we space. That's a space that people can go out and get their vitamin D. And we need to, when we build, consider space that people can go and have lunch in that space, go and have a conversation in that space, be out in the open air, because open air is fresh air. I often see people, walking about in fresh air with a mask on. Well, take that off for a while and let the sun hit you right. Breathe in some fresh air. Stay socially distanced if you need to, but you're out in the outdoors. That's the great outdoors. Let that heal you. Let that keep your immunity boosted, because we're all connected. And if we don't understand that, then we're going to die. And we're going to die in our numbers because we're going to die of stupidity. You
Mm.
cannot kill your environment and think you're going to be okay. It's just not going to happen. You're going to die with your environment. I mean, I remember somebody said, I remember one of the funniest phrases that I ever heard was that if the last tree dies, if the last tree dies, we'd have gone past that. We'd have died way before the last tree dies. Okay, so you can't wait for the last tree to die to talk about it. You gotta make sure that nothing else dies right now.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do. Now we have a Greening Ghana campaign. Oh, I love those things. Go plant a tree someplace. You know,
Yes.
act like Johnny Appleseed. Go plant. Don't have to plant apple trees. Just plant anything. The fruit trees that are here are fabulous. I love mango. Ooh, yeah, plant those things. Okay, plant plant that sour sap. That's sour sap. There's some health benefits to that. Y'all need to be investigating that sour sap. I don't know what you
Yeah.
all
I
call it, but
love
in
it.
Jamaica we call it sour sap. It's that green fruit that looks prickly, prickly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you got so many different types of fruits here that are lovely. Plant a tree. Plant food in your garden. That's something that, if nothing else, something happened to the prices of food. If you got food in your garden, you're gonna be okay.
You are going to be okay. Now let's touch on the Galamsey issue. I know again you're very yes, alum to green. That's what it's called, sour sap. Thank you, Veronica. Um, let's talk about Galamsey and how it's affecting our environment.
Was at the national dialogue for small scale mining, and that was not this past week, but and I walked into the Accra International Conference Center, and I'm thinking this is gonna be a small little workshop. I'm like, I couldn't find a place to sit down. I was walking around for a while. I'm like, ooh, people are really concerned about this, and I was so happy. We had chiefs, we had politicians, we had the president open up and say, this is real, we've got a deal. And I was very happy to see people taking a look at this issue on all levels, with a critical eye. Communique came out with some actionable steps. And right now, one of the things I've got to applaud as an actionable step is that we are not going to be prospecting anymore in nature reserves. In any of the nature reserves in Ghana, there is going to be no prospecting of mine or mining at all. We're
Wow.
banning it. It's not going to happen anymore. It's stopping. If you see somebody doing it, report it. You've got to get that. A nature reserve is just that. It's a reserve. Nothing should be happening there except the flowers talking to the animals, everybody enjoying each other. Nothing should be happening there in the way of spoiling biodiversity. We've got to stop that. And now I've seen it. It's happening. Hallelujah. Yeah, I start singing when I see something I like. Amen.
Amen. Amen. It is a big issue, and we're praying that these steps that the government has taken will definitely be going to effect. Because, as you said, that what will happen is that our children's children, even us, will suffer from the causes of
Yes.
Galamsey. Um, we've had our
But
great interview.
again,
Oh, go ahead.
we've always had Ghana. Mining
Yeah.
has always been, but what happens is when you bring equipment in that makes you degrade the environment at a faster rate, and nobody's putting that land back to where it was, nobody has a reclamation plan. Nobody minds people mining. Mining is a good thing, you know, but you've got to put that land back to use, to viable use. It can't stay like an ugly sore on the landscape. And again, we used to be able to walk. We used to walk about an hour to get to a Galamsey camp. And if you've ever been to one, back in the day, you had about 1,000 people in one area doing mining, and the stuff
Wow.
that they were doing was really dangerous. Children, young children, going into pits, they're still doing that. I don't know how many children we've lost, but we continue to have that practice, and that should never happen. We have young children now. They go into the pits, into the mines, into some hole for 10 Ghana cedis a day. They think they're making money. But at some point, if that dirt goes flying down, they're buried alive. And that's not worth 10 Ghana cedis a day. That's not even worth 100,000 Ghana cedis for the day. That life is precious. So
Absolutely.
we used to walk about an hour, bugs all over the place, getting bitten, carrying on, trying to see where you're going, that you don't step on anything that's going to kill you. Now, all you got to do is go on the highway from the western region of Bia to Takrady, and you will see the degradation at the side of the highway. It's in your face, plain, simply on. I just like, what is that? Oh, they did some mining over there. Right there, they're not hiding anymore. It's like, ooh, boldface, we out
In
here.
your face.
Yes, we're gonna do
Yeah.
it and make a living. Yeah, you're making a living, but you also making a dying. Okay, you're making a dying for everybody else, including yourself, and that's not a good way to make a living.
Absolutely.
I wish I had those pictures.
So don't worry. Um, Jamaica Ray says, I am all for the environment, but no, no, not let the West trick Africa into selling carbon credits. It is just a way to keep you from manufacturing goods.
Yeah, you have to. Not everybody can manufacture goods. You have to make a decision on what you want to manufacture. Um, One district, one factory. Um, we're still not in that industrial age. And rather, for us in Ghana, young people are more tech savvy. They're coming up with tech ideas, fintech,
Yeah.
all of that. They're coming up with those ideas. We need a balance. I came to Ghana, we had 13 textile companies at the time. I believe it was they had all the letters and beautiful patterns, beautiful cloth. And now I think we have three. We had about 20,000 skilled workers back in the day, knowing how to do fabric, how to do cloth. Now, if we can count 2,500, we're doing good. That's a whole industry that has been impacted by foreign cloth coming into the country. Nobody protected our cloth industry, our textile printing industry. Nobody protected that. And so now you walk in and you see high target all over the place. Well, that killed our cloth. Uh, yes, our cloth may be a little bit more costly, but let me tell you this. I can show you some clothes with cloth that was made, 20 years ago, and it was GTP, and it's still good to go. And then the other cloth, yeah, I'm using it as a dust rag around the house, okay? So you get what you pay for. And you want
Absolutely.
to do something better than, buy other folks' cheap goods because they're cheap.
Okay. Eben says there are no resources enough in some of these areas to develop natives. Therefore, with investors coming to pay huge amounts to landowners, becomes exclusive. Can you read on
These
what's
are
on the
not,
screen? Yeah.
yeah. If I okay, so there are no resources enough in some of these areas to develop natives, like he says, develop natives. Therefore, within coming in to pay huge amounts to landowners, it becomes elusive. Um, I'm not sure really what's being said there, but let me say this. An investor, proper investor, and we need to understand what an investor really is. An investor is a person that is invested in the place that he or she is investing in, meaning that they have a stake in it. And their stake is not just to take and rape and rake, it's actually to develop the people in the area to be self sustaining. That's a proper investor. Now, when a person comes in and they're showing you how to mess up your place, how to mess up your land, how to make a quick buck, that's not an investor. That person is not ready to take on the responsibility of, of what they're doing and how they're doing it. An investor would certainly want to take a look at the area that they're mining in. And I'm going to talk about mining because we have investors in mining a lot. And they come in and, they're just coming in to dig holes, and they've prospected. And however they've prospected, there's gold here, and we're going to dig. And they've been digging and digging and digging. And there's a way to do that digging. There's a way to set up that mine site so that you're not just haphazardly doing things. A proper investor takes a look at that as a plan of what they need to do uh, in their investment drive. Uh, there is an end to everything. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. I remember uh, an investor, Mark Davies, and I'm going to go to this because IT and ICT back in the day there was nothing. Busy Internet came in, and I remember having this conversation with the founder of Busy Internet. I said, "What do you see happening 10 years from now with Busy Internet?" He says, "I see myself out of business because if I do the thing right, everybody will get the knowledge that they need to have and be able to sustain themselves with this technology." And that's exactly what happened. We all got laptops and mobile phones, about three of those, and we're able to do what we need to do in order to survive using technology. And so we don't need to go anyplace anymore. I just take my mobile phone with me. If I knew back then what I know now, I would have bought some shares in some mobile phone companies. I'd be doing some things right now. But that's what technology does. It changes the face of what we need to be doing. So we need to embrace tech, but we need to embrace tech in the right way. Data to help us understand what's going on in the landscape of Ghana, that needs to happen. So I'm happy to see drones taking flight and moving around and taking pictures of landscape. I'm happy to see that because that's a job and a career for somebody, but it's also technology sorting out and solving a problem.
Absolutely. Now we're going to go through a couple of questions that people have put on the screen. We'll take it one by one. Chrissy, if you start off with, if you, Mama Lou, if you can read what's on the screen.
Yes, I can. Millicent Abwaje, our people keep on building houses for building's sake without considering other things like the environmental impact. The government housing system, so each person builds to cover his head, yeah, and each one keeps on digging his own water hole, etc. How dangerous is it for the future? One plot of land can contain 10 families in a three-story building. You're right, sister. Then we use the 9 plots for gardens. Perfect. I like this girl. I need to find give your number to the group because I need to talk to you. And recreational facilities and other public facilities. Oh yeah, I want to hire this girl. Um, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing in other cities. They're building up. The apartment buildings go up, they're using the space at the top. And then the space at the bottom, they're used for we spaces. So you've got parks, you've got places to sit to have lunch, you've got places to sit to have a conversation. You know, you don't have to, walk into a hotel to have a conversation. We can be outside, you know, and enjoy the atmosphere and enjoy what's happening. So yes, there needs to be a definite better smart planning of a city of like Accra. Um, market. Am I not gonna talk about the marketplaces? Oh gosh, I'm gonna make enemies now. How in the world do you have marketplaces like Agobloshi? Woo! Have you seen that place?
Yep, I
When I
have.
first got to Ghana, I used to call it "I'll bless you" because all the food was there, and I used to go there and put on a show because I was acting New York back then, and I was just having a good time at places like Agbo Blushing. I went there about 3 years ago with a good friend. She wanted to put on a program to clean up Agbo Blushing, Deme Alabi, and Sister Deme put together Mami Adenteng. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it was a mothering day, mothering Saturday, just before Mother's Day, and we cleaned up. I mean, she did an amazing job with help with daughter Kukwa, cleaned up the central area of Agbo Blushi Market. That central area, we got Zoom line involved. They brought a truck. It's not that people wanted to stay in their nastiness, in their dirtiness. They just didn't know what to do with the garbage. So I'm like, do we not on a regular basis, like every day, collect the garbage at Agbo Bloshi? Why do we have rats that come out in the nighttime and say hello to you? I mean, they literally speak. Why do we have this type of environment and then we go and buy food from this environment? Explain this to me like I'm a 6-year-old. Do you think more policies around development is include allocation of play areas just like here in the UK? Yeah. Um, I don't know why we seem to just enjoy building executive housing or housing for people that can't afford or people that don't work the CD here. Uh, CDs, people, what they earn here cannot put them in the housing that's being built. So at the executive level, housing, there's a housing glut. At the level where we call affordable housing, and I don't use this term because affordable for who? I use low cost housing. At that level, we don't have a lot of low cost housing or what we call worker housing, housing for workers that people are working, but they're working. And not necessarily the working poor, but they're working, and what they're making is not enough to get them into proper housing. So we've got seven people family living in a kiosk or one room something somewhere. I'm not sure how you get 5 kids if you're living with the 5 kids in a one room. You need to explain that to me too. I don't know what happens with that. But people need space to live. People need space to thrive. And we have too much space going to waste in this city of Accra. And I'm not sure about the other cities, but I'm sure that there must be something else happening in those cities as well. The last time I checked, we have a 1.7 million housing unit deficit. 1.7 million. We need to build 1.7 million homes so that
Yep.
Ghanaians can feel like they're in a house. Yeah, yeah.
Your next question is up on the screen.
answering all these questions. Are in the wow. Okay. Also, who's being done? What is being done? I have no idea. I just know what happened, um, and why we're in the situation we're in now with that industry. Another industry that has suffered is the furniture industry. Well, we were making first class furniture up in this country. That whole industry is also gone. We've gotten rid of more industries than we have put in place, and I don't know. That's something to investigate, to research. Why did these things happen? But what is the solution? You're right. How can we reclaim those industries? How can we, you know, move people into areas where they're learning skills? One of the things that I'm in a vocational school, you're supposed to learn how to do schematics. We don't have, I haven't found a person that knows how to do schematics for a product schematics. I don't see people doing that. Um, do we teach that? I don't know. It's a good question. Are we educating people to do these things? That's a good question, and I'd like to have the answer as well. So maybe we can work on that together. Okay, good. And then I have Africans must do more to protect our environment because our drain system in our are unhygienic and poor. What you're talking about is we don't have a sewer system, open gutter. We had a sewer system. When I we actually looked into bringing back the defunct sewer system that Accra has, the money would be too much. It would be too. It would be non-productive costing right there. Um, but you had a sewer system, and it went defunct because for some reason, people decided to have this open gutter system. I don't know. When I first got to this country, I didn't understand it. I still don't understand why we desilt the gutter and leave the garbage there to go back in the gutter. Uh, these are things in the 25 years I've been here, I have not been able to figure that out. Why that happens? What is it? Why is the desilting exercise so futile? What is that about?
Next question. Millicent
Okay.
again. Your favorite.
Our old town planning was excellent. Each house had 4 spaces. Well, yeah, and new rich people's area are only yeah, yeah, yeah. Planning is something that I'm not sure why spaces are planned the way they are now. I think people come back from Abrochi and kind of pull in uh, ideas that don't necessarily fit here. They're not best fit. We need to find best fit housing, best fit planning um, that works. Again, you're right. Certain things were planned very well, and they're not planned like that now. I remember going down when I first got here. We had a lot of houses that were up on stilts. The British built it that way because down at the bottom, if the ground was pretty was a little swampy, watery. So if you build a house up, the house bottom is not on that water. It's up above that swamp. So put houses up above that, and so you have space underneath, so that you can have some evaporation going on. It's a good idea. I don't know why we stopped.
Absolutely good idea. Denise says, how can we in the diaspora get involved? Would really like to become part of the solutions on the ground. Is there any way that people can get in touch with you because you're very passionate about the environment, how they can work with your organization? Is there any way that they can get in touch with you? I need to put your email address up, Mama Lou.
Yeah. I actually like doing WhatsApp, so give them my WhatsApp number.
Okay,
I'm
so I
not
should put your
such an
number up.
email
I should
person
put.
anymore. I used to sit on email all day long.
So you want me to put your number up?
Yeah, you can put that up me.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my network. That's my network.
Okay.
People can call, and that's about the solution. Don't call me about a problem. Okay, call me about the solution. What we
I
can
love
do
that.
together. Okay.
I love that.
Do you, our schools, do you, Kwame? Yes, schools should teach our children about their. Um, I really did when I was, and I'm still advocating for proper sanitation in schools. I never understood why a contractor with a contract to build a school and not have toilets in the school. At one point, we had 10,000 schools in Ghana without toilets. So, how do the kids learn what they're supposed to do to relieve themselves other than go to the bush? And then you have young ladies going to relieve themselves and they get raped. And that's indicative of some of these places where you go, the school is there, but there's no toilet facility in the school. So the kids are going around the bush areas and around to find places to relieve themselves. It's gotten better, but it's not perfect. Okay, and no contractor should take a contract of building a school if the school doesn't facility. You've got to be integrous on that. You've got to be, as a contractor, you've got to say, where are the kids going to go to the bathroom? I build one, two, or whatever in this. Can we budget for that? What can we do? Okay, you can't build a school without a toilet. Just don't do it. Okay, just do it.
Absolutely. So I've got Mama Lou's number on the screen. We're just going to go through a few more questions,
Yes, that's my number.
and then we're going to wrap up. So Millicent says, your proposal for taxes over empty houses is a great idea. In Europe, they pay property tax on their second homes, holiday homes. And so it's a great idea. So Millicent says that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I also have what we call an eyesore tax. That's yeah. I call it an eyesore tax. Are you listening, people?
we're
Ministers,
listening.
eyesore tax. That's for uncompleted buildings. Okay, if
Oh,
your building is uncompleted, we tax it at a higher rate than if your building is completed.
wow.
Yes, eyesore tax. There's also that's all part of what we call the trip of sand, trip of gravel. You cannot have a trip of sand in the road for 5 years. Tax that. Tax it. If you have a trip of sand in the road for 5 years, you need to be paying tax on that trip of sand or trip of gravel. Let's get some revenue. Hallelujah.
Amen. Okay. Roadtail says town planning would be nice, but how do we get people to move so systems are placed?
How do you get people move system are well, um, it's there's a thing called a vote. You do it with your thumb, and I'm still voting in my place of birth, and I voted this year because after 4 years of, I don't know what I can even call that, I decided that enough was enough. You have an opportunity as a citizen of Ghana to voice yourself every time, to voice concerns. Here is where, say, I would like to see, housing be a priority in the country instead of other priorities. You have an opportunity to say what you need to have because you have the power in your thumb. This is your power right here. And you need to exercise that power by letting your politicians, your MPs, letting them know what they need to be taking as a priority. I don't think people talk to their MPs enough. I don't know if uh, folks feel that they can't, but that's what they're there for. They're there to listen to you. They're there to to implement ideas that you all have for good governance. That's what they're there for. You've got to make your vote and your voice work for you, not the other way around.
Okay. Chrissy, can we have the next question?
Do I have any questions? Is that what you
No,
asked
no,
me?
no, not you, Mama Lou.
Oh, okay. Remember, I'm on a I'm on stream here, and I'm a little far away from everybody.
Kwame says, I totally agree with Mama Lou. There should be a proper sanctions areas, including toilets, in a morally way, not only to environment.
Thank you, Kwame. Thank you.
Denise says, what is the name of your organization?
Oh, I've got several of them. I'm I'm a conglomerate that's a startup. Okay, so I've got several companies, and they're all in various phases of starting up. But I am a consultant, and my consultancy is Global Resolve Africa. Global
Okay.
Resolve Africa.
My African says individuals struggle to build their homes. We cannot make their life hell for the citizens by forcing them out if they're uncompleted homes.
If a house is uncompleted for 15 years, okay, see, biblical. Let's go back to the Bible. Count the cost. You can actually build a home in phases, what we call operational phases. So you build a portion of the home and you live in it. If you're living in your home, it's operational. I'm talking about structures that are incomplete, that are not occupied, and they've been incomplete for 15, 20 years. What's happening with that? That's wasted space. What's going on there? People struggle to build their homes, but then you got phase one. What are we going to build in phase one? You got phase two. What are we going to do for phase two? You got phase three. What are we going to do for phase three? Plan the work and work the plan. Then you don't have any problems because you're moving right along and you're doing it in a timely fashion. 20 years to build a house, it's not timely. 5 years,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm going to go through the questions. So, Don Moore, perhaps setting up a donation fund, not GoFundMe, but a trustworthy um, a system to build our own funded projects.
Um, I actually like that idea. Um, I have a young lady who actually works with me. I've known her for 4 years. Her company is called Bizo Susu, Bizo Money, actually. And they have Bizo Susu as a product. They're going to have Bizo Invest as a product, and then Bizo Credit as another product. It's a startup. It's a young person, and I love young people when they have these wonderful ideas. You need to support that. We have an opportunity to go put our money with Bizo Money, so that we can actually have a fund of our own to do these types of things. Shout out to Essie Sutherland, who has done an amazing job with Mofro Park. That's a park in Jolu, near the miniature golf course, where young people go and learn about their environment, play together, do wonderful things together at Mofra Park. Shout out to Essie. Essie's doing it, and she's doing it in a big way in her community.
Fabulous. We had my African come back and say, look, well, sometimes family members building the houses passes away and the rest of the family don't have money to continue. So eventually it gets uncompleted. We can't force them. And then Angie comes and says that, Rwanda seizes property if the owners aren't doing anything with the property after a period of time. So in Rwanda, they will actually seize the property after a period of time. But My African Affairs says, look, it's not fair. Sometimes a family member could have passed away and the family doesn't have money to finish the property. What do you say to that?
I say that that's where our institutions, um, like our banking institutions, work with the family in order to complete that building. And I say banking, but banking is not really what goes on in Ghana. Sorry, there's more enemies I'm making. Um, Maybe savings and loans is the best thing I can say other than banking. But we need to be able to access money to complete a building, especially since the person has died. Now, here's another instrument that can be used before the person dies. There is a thing called insurance. Now, I know I'm making some more enemies on this one, but people do not insure themselves so that when they pass, monies can be utilized for putting up or finishing up what they started, even sending their kids to school, uh, finishing the children's education. That's insurance. And so anybody that thinks that if they get insurance, their spouse is going to be trying to kill them, nah, that's not good enough. You got to go get insurance and make sure that the insurance you're getting is going to cover school fees. It's going to cover maybe finishing up that uncompleted house, and then funeral costs. I never really understood funeral costs in Ghana. I mean, I don't particularly understand why you have to feed the whole neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood needs to feed the kids that are left behind. So it's the way
It's
you
a cultural
actually,
thing.
you acknowledge your life and you plan for your life. Insurance is part of planning for your life. Get insured and make sure that that insurance covers everything you want to have happen after you're gone.
Thank you so much. Quest says that he doesn't believe in voting. He feels that voting does not work in Africa. It's colonial thoughts. So that's what he has to say with that as well. Um,
I like colonial thoughts. Yeah, get rid of the white wig. Sorry. Oh, more enemies. Oh my God, so many enemies today. Yeah, get rid of that white wig. That'll help the colonial thoughts. If you get rid of the white wig in the law in the judiciary, I think the colonial thoughts will go away with the white wig. You know?
okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mama
yeah.
Lou,
I
just
know I made enemies. Sorry, guys.
you're
Sorry,
always
sorry,
you're
lawyers.
always
Sorry,
making enemies, but
judges.
it's okay. You speak what you feel is the truth, so that's fine. Um, so far with the interview, what are some of the interview that we did that just came out yesterday? What are some of the comments that people are saying after the interview?
Well, I was surprised. When I actually looked at the interview again, I didn't know I'd said all that. We were just naturally talking, and I'm saying what's on my heart, and I really, the, everybody is very impressed. The way it flowed, the dynamics of what we both did, and how we both said what we needed to say. Um, Comments on the galamsey issue. Why are Chinese and people are very specific about who they're talking about. I mean, we might want to call them foreigners, but we've got to be specific on who's doing what. And people see what's on the ground. We need to stop folks from coming in and messing up our space, messing up our place. It's got to stop. Um, we we've got a lot of comments on that. Um, I got mostly everybody said it was an amazing interview. Uh, they're looking for doing more. We have other people, I think, in the diaspora that are looking for share some very very on situations. We have some things that should not be going on in the land tenure system. Oh my gosh, more enemies. Sorry, guys. Yes, land tenure. You can't invite the diaspora to come home and cause them drama just because they need to buy in and build a house. If you're going to do that, then don't ask them to come home because there's no home to come home to. You sold their land out 4 and 5 times to somebody else. When they now the land is going down. Yeah, that's an
Thank,
area that I wish you'd tangle at some point or tackle
okay,
at some point instead of
sure.
tackling about how people acquire land and who they're supposed to. I'd like to see all these agents that say they're real estate agents and that they're not licensed. Here's more money for you all, guys. Finance, more money. License the real estate agents. They have to pay for a license to sell real estate. Okay, that's money that you make, and then they have to go through a 2-month course on how to sell real estate. That's developing to make better money. We got to stop these flim flam scam men from going about trying to quote unquote sell property or sell houses or rent houses or what have you. There's a system that must be put in place, and we need to do that.
And lastly, what about this rental pay, that you have to pay 2 years in advance? How do we get rid of that system? How do we change, paying 2 years and 5 years in advance for property?
Wow. That is so, in fact, that's such a hard spot with me right now. I, first of all, to ask somebody who's making what I would call middle income to pay 2 years advance, that's literally taking food off their table. If not, here's what they're doing: they're stealing it from somebody to do that. And they're causing some drama someplace, And when I say stealing, you've got people that actually will find. So that needs to we need to come back down to where the law said 6 months. That's doable. 6 months. Do what you need to do. During COVID, there should not have been any movement at all. In the United States, we had a moratorium on landlords and tenants trying to move people out and all of that. Can't do it for 2 years. Can't do it because you wanted them to stay home and stay safe. How are they going to stay home if they don't have a home to stay home in? Let's figure that out, Ghana. Okay, let's figure that
To
out.
figure that out. Absolutely.
So
We need to figure that out.
some kind of policy to address that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want to thank you, Mama Lou, for joining me on the show. It's been a great conversation. There's still quite a lot of conversation going on the YouTube and Facebook, people asking questions as well. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to have you again on the show. I'm sure that we'll be having you on again very, very soon. Have a lovely evening, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope I answered everybody's questions, but if not, y'all have my number. Please do not call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Lou. It's been a pleasure. Do not call her at 3 o'clock in the morning. And she says she doesn't want any problems. She wants solutions. Okay. So don't be calling her asking about problems, but she wants solutions. So do get in touch with her. I can't thank you guys enough. There's a conversation going on the chat at the moment. I can see Erica talking. Welcome, Erica. She's from, I think, Jamaica. Eben is still, communicating. Veronica, thank you so much. Quest, thank you. Mahood, thank you so much. How can I get in touch with Mrs. Thompson? I will put her number up again. Let me put that up. But I'm putting up. So if you're looking for one of these tops in Jamaica flag and UK flag and whatever flag, this is the website to go on so you can order yours. Let me get Mama Lou's number back up again for you. And this is what she was talking about throughout the show about, plastics. Let's use it for better things. Okay. There's lots of greenhouses. Let's use the plastic for that. Again, she mentioned about my favorite guy, Nelson Boateng, who is doing amazing things when it comes to plastics. I'm going to be doing another show with him because he has finally built a house using plastics. Guys, come on. This is exciting. Let me put Mama Lou's number up in here again. Hold on a second. Bear with me whilst I do this. I did put it up before, but just in case you did miss it, it is +233 54 871 9680. There we are. God, what did Edwin say? Thank you. Thank you so much to Eben. Millicent, thank you so much for always tuning in. Kwame, Eben, all of you. I really, really do appreciate all of you, your time and your energy that you spend with me each and every show. Now, if you are looking for internship opportunity in Ghana, Guba Careers has that for you. Now, if you want to do internship in a media house, in a hospital, in an accounting firm, in a financial institution, we can help you. Okay, so fill out this Survey Monkey. If you're coming to Ghana for a holiday, just don't come and sit at home and then get bored. Do something, especially in your summer holiday. If you're bringing your kids, 18 and above, anybody that's 18 and above can have a job experience with Goober Careers. So guys, I've put the details up. Make sure that you get in touch if something of interest. Now, I did mention about Aya cards, my boss's cards. She's doing amazing things, guys. So make sure that you go on the site. This is it, Etsy, and order your cards. Let's support Black-owned businesses. We need to support our own. It's very, very, very important and crucial. Does Miss Lou have any contacts? I've just shared it. I hope that you got that. I've shared her number. Let me put it on the screen, actually. It might be more helpful. There we are. It's on the screen. So please do get in touch with her. Yes, Veronica, I'm looking forward to meet myself and Nelson's interview. It's going to be amazing. Any pilot internship? For pilots, we can ask. Please fill out the form and let's see. We can definitely ask our Air, Passion Air. We can definitely ask and see whether there is an opportunity there. But please, 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 please. Yes, there is job training for medical students. We had nurses last 2 years. They worked in two or three different hospitals. They really, really enjoyed themselves. So great internship opportunities when it comes to Goober Careers. Okay, guys. So make sure that you subscribe and, spread the word. If there's any other topics that you wish for myself to discuss, I'm actually planning on speaking to the Minister of Lands very soon. And I had somebody from Lands before, one of the directors. He's going to be joining me. So we're going to talk about the land issue. And then we have affordable housing. So Kofi Ankou has built affordable housing for only $45,000 in Pokwase. So guys, if that's something of interest, next week we'll be talking to him on affordable housing and how you can get yourself a house for just $45,000. So if there's any other things that you'd like me to discuss on any other person that you feel that I should bring on the show, please do let me know. Sundays is the day that we have our community conversations, and sometimes Thursdays as well. But I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do keep safe. It is still coronavirus era. One of my friends just called me yesterday, actually, in Ghana, and he's got COVID. So praying for you, Stephen, that you will recover very, very quickly. So guys, thank you so much. I'm going to love you and leave you. It's been an hour and 25 minutes of great conversation. Mama Lou always giving it to us her best. I'm sure she's getting calls right now. Please do not call her at 3 o'clock in the morning, though. Again, thank you so much for World Remit for sponsoring the show. See you guys next week. God bless you. Bye-bye.